One, two, three. Welcome hey there. I'm Kyrie Gideon, a student at Varsity College. My student number is ST100844490, and I would like to welcome you to my C# Chatbot project. So, a little preference on how I'm going to go about this. I'm going to run through all 5 of my classes, give you a brief rundown on them, and then at the end, I'm going to queue my project and execute it for you. If you are hearing a little bit of an echo in the background, it's because I dropped my mic earlier, so unfortunately it did get damaged. So just picture me in a cave with a whole bunch of sophisticated technology at my disposal that allowed me to create a chatbot. So I'm like a tech-savvy friend who just discovered console colors and never looked back. So let me start with the walkthrough, and let's begin. So the first program we're going to go to, or the first class is my references, is known as my main class. And essentially what happens here is it's the mastermind of the entire project. The main initializes the console look, feel, it greets the user with sound and ASCII art, and launches the chat loop. It calls methods from other classes instead of doing everything itself, because nobody likes a micromanager. As you can see, it's calling to the other classes. And now to the next class we're going to go on to is the conversationalist, or my user interaction class. This is where I had quite a bit of fun. There's one method I enjoyed making here that was quite fun as well. So I'm just going to go right to the top, and we're going to have a brief run through each of them. So first, the get username. Now, what this method does, grabs the user's name, validates it, makes sure it's short, clean, no hacker aliases like the Dark Lord of the Abyss 3000. It kind of slices the name and ensures it's neat and presentable. And the next one that I've created was the chat loop, which is quite an important one, especially in this class, because it runs the interaction loop, keeps the program alive, reads your input, and exists gracefully when you type exit. Now the real power comes from the process. And the process input one, essentially what happens here, this routes your input to the security content provider, which is the other subclass we're going to talk about. It gives you a heads up if you have typed something weird or strange or out of ordinary. Now the reason why I create these methods is for them to work together to keep the conversation flowing and error-free. Now, this was my favorite one creating because you see in the other classes, it's called simulate typing. Now, when people speak, there's like a little pause. So when the audio is actually played, it kind of follows the same way in which humans are talking. So as essentially what's happening, the message is getting typed to match the sound. Really cool. So the next class we're going to jump through is the console manager, the stylus class. This one I had a bit of fun as well. I'm not going to lie. Added a lot of extra things that weren't really needed, but let's go for the touch of style. So the initialize console, what it does is it sets up the screen with a clean title, headers, default colors, and no more dull or gray on black. The prints colored message, we're going to get back to the display ASCII art. In fact, let's go on it. Display ASCII art, the pure retro goodness. It's just there to say, hey, this bot's got personality. It's going to take my ASCII art, it's going to display it correctly, it's going to call to other methods to make sure it's actually structured well. And the other one I would like to touch on to is the print colored message. What this one does is lets me pop out errors in red or identify confirmations in the color cyan. So why do this? Good UX isn't just for GUIs, even a console app deserves to look good. This is a very brief run through because I don't want the video to be too long or too taxing on the individuals. I just want to keep you here and focused. But we're going to now jump on to the next class, which is our security content provider. So essentially, what this class did was it holds the knowledge of the whole program. The initialized content, it loads up the cybersecurity facts, each tied to a keyword like phishing or firewall. The process security query right here. What this does matches user input to the keywords and returns a detailed answer. And yes, there's a hidden Easter egg. Type hack the planets and you see some magic. And I chose to use dictionaries because it's fast, easy to update, and perfect for keyword answer pairs, as I will show you right here. This is the keyword, this is the answer pair. It's quite handy, but I'm not going to lie, it took me a while to do this area over here. I did get lost in my own code a few times, had unnecessary white spaces, and to format it took a mission. And now to the DJ, the powerful, probably one of the MVPs of my project would be the audio clause. And what it does is, well, if you haven't guessed it, it plays a welcoming WAV file I am actually not using sound player. I opted to use N-Audio, and the reason for this is because my sound player wasn't getting imported correctly, and I saw on Stack Overflow and a few forums mentioned to install it on the PCM N-Audio, which I did, and I provided it with my file path. And what it does is it checks if it exists. If it doesn't exist, it alerts as authentication, audio is missing. But if it does there, it looks for it, initializes it, and it plays the welcome text correctly while using my simulate typing for the welcome text. So just to make it more interactive, why would I do this? Because to be honest with you, I wanted my program to kind of feel like you're entering a digital fortress, simple but super effective for immersion. And before I leave, I did want to touch on why did I use XAML tags, which are the summary or the param that you see throughout the program, is because I wanted to document everything, and I felt like it was quite neat the way it was doing it. It gives a quick overview of what each method does. That's what the summaries were for. Lifesaver when I revisit my code, which I needed to, because when I looked at my code, I was like, what exactly did I even write here? So because of that, I was able to elaborate further. And the param explains method input clearly. It's like leaving helpful sticky notes throughout my code. That's the reason for the XAML tags, but I have referenced it, and I did see forums mention it, so I did incorporate it into the project. To wrap it up though, we've got, I hopefully have created a stylish, colorful, sound-enhanced chatbot, solid OOP design using 5 cleanly separated clauses, deep interaction powered by a dictionary and string matching, friendly UX, and some fun hacker-themed flair. This project helped me practice console manipulation, clause structure, method interaction, and user input handling, all while keeping things fun and polished. And finally, for what we've all been waiting for, cue the demo. Now that you've met the code, let's see it in action. Watch as I launch this bot, and hopefully you're blown away, so let's go.
Greetings, digital traveler. You've just entered a safe zone, well, as safe as the internet allows. I'm your friendly cybersecurity awareness bot, here to help you dodge scams, outsmart hackers, and keep your data locked up tighter than Fort Knox. But first, a simple question. What should I call you?
And this is, if you were not to enter anything, it will give you an error. So you have to enter your handle, let's say Kai2000. And there you go. So my command center is just to show you the simple prompts that you can type and the info queries. So if you want to, we can just type menu, and we'll show you all the available security prompts, the topics that you may ask it, and it will hopefully provide you with some good insight on it. I did add quite a bit, so apologies in advance. It's going to take a little bit, but hang in there. Let's just say we want to know social engineering. And then you can type clear and exit and initialize it. But with that being said, thank you. I do hope you enjoyed my part 1 demo, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Stay safe out there.